Today is a good day. Weighed in this morning, 217. That means we are making progress. So that's what I love to see. I'm fucking excited. I'm stoked for that. The heaviest I've ever been is 215. So this is a new all-time best for me. So, the work I've been putting in is definitely paying off. Especially for someone like me, I've always been, most of my life, pretty much my whole life, I've been a hard gainer. And I hate to use that term, but just so that it's a little bit more understandable and relatable to anybody who might be a hard gainer as well. And I think that with the knowledge, with the understanding of what you should do, you can kind of debunk that term, because I think once I've acquired the understanding of what I'm supposed to do to be able to properly gain weight, gain muscle, put on some size, after I learned that information and started to apply it, that's when I really start seeing the results, and it's been a long time coming. So, if you're in that boat, and it could be you struggle to gain weight or you struggle to lose weight. It could apply for both. It doesn't matter. In my case, I struggle to gain weight. And I would say that the biggest reason why I've struggled to gain weight is because I wouldn't prioritize being in a caloric surplus, for one. And I think in terms of training intensity, I always had, not to say that my training was not intense, but I think my approach now is a little bit different. I understand what I'm supposed to do, and it's like I go with more intention now to the gym. It's more focused. So that's one thing I could say is stay focused, go into the gym with intention. Don't just go in there to throw weight around. There's a time and place to ego lift, but always go there with a plan, and then adjust. You can adjust that plan, but at least you have a pretty good idea of what you want to do. So with that being said, today we got a back and biceps day, so aka pool day. Plan is to fucking destroy my arms. Like I mentioned before, one thing I really want to work on more than anything is growing my arms. I think that because I have a long build, long arms, long torso, long everything, I think it's always been a struggle for me to really put on some mass and size on my arms. So back, I'm not too worried about. I've always had a strong back, very, very strong back compared to other muscle groups. But arms is definitely something I want to emphasize. So today we're going to be aiming to do about 3 to 4 exercises per muscle group. So for back, my plan is to hit back with something that I haven't tried actually. It's going to be chest supported dumbbell row on an incline. So you're leaning over the bench. With that, I'm looking for that full extension. Gravity is pulling the weight down, so that's going to be a little different from the cable stuff. Definitely going to implement a one arm row in there, just so I could get more of that stretch. I feel like with a one arm, I haven't really been doing those, and those, from what I can see from the research I've done, and all these guys that have physiques that I admire that do these kind of lifts, one arm row is definitely in there. So we'll be doing some of that, probably some pull downs. You can't go wrong with some good old classic lat pull downs. You can always switch up the bar too. Sometimes if you could go wide grip, you could go closed grip. So I'll see what I end up doing there, but pull downs is definitely in the mix. And then what else? Maybe some seated chest supported row. And we shall conclude back with those movements. And in terms of biceps, looking at some preacher curls, probably we'll start off with a heavy barbell curl, just to be able to move some heavy weight before jumping into some cable stuff. I've really been liking I think it's called the Bayesian cable curl. It's like a standing curl. I'll show you guys what it looks like, but you know, the stretch on that is, I don't know of many other bicep exercises where you could get that kind of stretch. That's something I have not been implementing much into my workouts because I recently learned about it, so I'm gonna be including that. And then, you know, whatever else is left, but the goal is to fucking destroy my arms, destroy my back, and yeah, that's about it. So see you guys in there. Alright, so hopefully this music is not gonna get too much in the way of me talking, but we'll see. I'm gonna start off with some lat pull downs. Gonna try to go pretty heavy. 3 to 4 sets on this one, and then moving on into a row after this. But I'm gonna go wide grip this time. Traditionally, I would do close grip, or at least like shoulder width, or slightly wider than shoulders, but it's been a while since I've done wide grip pull down, so I'm gonna do those today, see how they feel. I did warm up with it, it felt good, so I'm gonna focus on that today. Ooh. Oh, that felt good. Alright, that felt pretty heavy. One tip I have for you on the lat pull downs. So focus on, whenever you're pulling down, focus on driving your elbows down versus pulling with your hands. Because if you get into the mindset of pulling with your elbows, it's automatically gonna engage your back more, versus if you're using just your hands, you know, and your forearms, it's gonna transfer some of that energy being used more towards like even your biceps, your forearms, your wrists, versus using just your back. So try it on your next time you do pull downs. You'll see how it'll make a difference pretty much on any back movements, to be honest. See, maybe one or two more on this one. Ooh. All right, next one. been a while since I've done these one arm dumbbell row. See how it feels. I tried the dumbbell rows with the incline, but it was such a hard setup, man. So I scratched it. Do these instead. Alright, so probably gonna have to cut the audio off on this one because the music is literally right above me. Ah. All right, wrapping up back with this last one. Single arm. Really focus on getting that squeeze back here. On the previous one, I was going more on the heavier side, and I really felt like the middle of my back really just getting that pull, which I like that. But on this one, I'm gonna focus more on right here on the back, on the concentric. Oh, oh, back is toast. I'm done on a biceps. Good old preacher curls. Yeah. Get a crazy burn on the biceps with that one. Oh, yeah, that burns big time. Yeah, felt good. Maybe one more. So me personally, I gotta work on getting that hump on the bicep. So concentration curls, preacher curls, that's gonna be geared more towards that peak. So I'm really gonna emphasize those type of workouts versus just mass builders. Like I'll throw in hammer curls, I'll throw in, barbell curls just for mass. But where I'm lacking is the peak. So if your situation is the same, probably doing something like this will will help you. All right, last one. Let's make it worth it. I can see a little peak coming in on the bicep, at least on the right side. My right side has always been a little bit bigger, but yeah, work is paying off. You know, it's nice after months of hard work. You could see those little small increments, those little gains. But you know, this is a journey, so it could take my whole life. But as long as I'm improving, that's all that matters to me. So, all right, one more on this one. Let's get it. All right, so my biceps are pretty toast, but I said I would do hammer curls and a barbell curl, which I should have probably done the barbell curl first, but hey, it is what it is. No matter. So I'm gonna do barbell curl, hammer curl, barbell curl, hammer curl. So 1 and 1, and then done. Damn, biceps are toast. I have to do some swings here. Now that was a good workout. My biceps are jacked up right now. I got to the point where I couldn't even hammer curl 30 pounders. When you can't hammer curl something that you throw up like nothing on a usual day, that's when you know it's time to call it quits for the day. You know, once I feel like my pump is absolutely pretty much at its max and lightweight, I can barely even like move lightweight anymore. That's when I know it's pretty much, you know, at that point I'll just be doing junk reps, you know. So, you know, once I get to that point, I know it's the end of that workout, at least for that specific muscle group. It's possible that, let's say, if I was doing arms and biceps and triceps, versus what I did today, which was back and biceps, it's possible that I could do, like, my biceps would feel this pump to where I could barely move anything, and then I go and do triceps, and then it takes a little bit of rest, and I can come back to doing biceps again, because at that point, you know, they're not not as much blood flow. It allows for some of the blood flow to, I guess, dissipate. But yeah, once it's like this, you kind of know the workout is you're done for the day. So, you know, you don't want to overwork, you don't want to hurt yourself either. But I definitely pushed, you know. These are also workouts that I haven't really been doing before, like those Bayesian cable curls. I don't think I've ever done those, but I was watching some videos, a lot of research behind those. Supposedly they're really good for building the biceps. Get just like a really nice stretch. You know, I feel like preacher curls, you also get a pretty nice stretch on those. Somebody got stopped. Shit, that sucks. Thank God it wasn't me. Guys, fucking whole night just got ruined. But yeah, definitely sick pump with that Bayesian cable curl. Also the preacher curls, I love preacher curls. Started going a little heavier on them. I could feel that stretch, man. You gotta be careful with biceps also, because you don't want to tear your shit. I've heard a lot of fucking sob stories about that, man. And then you're out for a while, and I'm sure the recovery is, you're never 100% back to normal after that. So I don't mess with like overdoing it on biceps either. You know, I want them to grow, but I don't want to tear some shit, you know. The back workout was good. I felt started doing more like single arm stuff. I'm gonna start incorporating that a little bit more also. But yeah, can't complain. It was a good fucking day, man. I you know, got a late night session in. You know, I hope all of you are getting it in too. You know, it's about consistency. Stay consistent. You know, I'm here practically every day trying to make a video, tracking my progress and seeing, you know, I want to look back at this and see how much I've grown a year from now. And you know, whether you do a video or not, you don't need to do a video, but like, you know, track your progress. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is track your progress. You know, I have a little Excel sheet where I'm putting my weight day by day. Like I said, 217, man. That's crazy. I've never been 217. That's the first time in my life I'm 217. And when I was 215, the heaviest I was before this, it was years ago. It was when I was playing baseball. I was fat, man. I was not fat, not obese or anything like that, but I was chunky. I was a chunky 215. So to be 217 the way I look now, I'm really happy with that, because I know once I get to like the end of my bulk, when I know it's time to cut, you know, it's like a new baseline where I'm gonna be starting at, of like where my actual muscle is, you know. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, got nothing else for you guys today. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and let's keep getting at it. Peace.